leadership and business performance development coach. She's an entrepreneur. She's a CEO and founder of her own company called Success Engine Ltd. She also is the author of the Success Planner Workbook, which is a brilliant book. She's highly experienced, a senior team manager, a mentor, facilitator, with about 20 years of professional HR background. So all people with the HR background can actually run back to her and get as much expert advice as you can from her. I have a little more information about her. She has helped a lot of business leaders, increase their business. She was one of the global HR directors and board members. She was also corporate HR director for Robertson and Bloom, which included countries like Russia, Kazakhstan, Ukraine. She speaks Latvian very, very fluently. I've heard her videos, though I didn't understand anything, but it just sounded so nice to the ears. So I am all set to give the stage to you, Inga, and I hope that we can, get out as much information as I can from you, because I know how good you are with personal brand. Thank you so much for coming today. Can we unmute her, please? Just a second. Yes.
So thank you for inviting me. It's a great pleasure to be here, and it's a great honor to share my knowledge, skills, and expertise with your audience. I'm really excited to do that. As I have experienced myself in my professional career, how important is personal brand for thriving career. So I'm happy to pay it forward. And thank you for such a great and lovely introduction, Renira. I appreciate that. I see that you are and your team and Santosh and the team are doing really fabulous job to help people to inspire, empower, and provide with tools and tactics how to thrive in business and career.
Thank you.
So one of the questions we discussed before we started the meeting is what makes me so passionate about sharing the message and helping people to build their personal brand. And one of the reasons why I'm doing it is that when I was now I have a thriving career in business, and I'm really excited about it. However, when I started, when I was in the early stage of my career, then I was wondering, how come that other people, it seems like they make it so easy, and some other people are struggling with building a career or getting the right jobs or job offers. And I started to research what's the difference. Why for some people that feels so easy, and for some people it's a struggle. And one of the factors that I discovered in my research, as I wanted to succeed as well, right? So I wanted to learn from successful and implement the tactics. One of the things I discovered that, of course, you need to have the right skills, knowledge, and expertise to do the job. However, your personal brand impact and your network and your social media presence and how you come across, it really matters how people perceive you and what they think of you. As people like to work with people whom they know, like, and trust. And through your personal brand, you create that, through personal brand development, you create that feeling of people knowing, liking, and trusting you. And people having clarity, what kind of job offers to offer to you. And what happens is when you develop your personal brand, now we are such a connected world, right? I'll share with you one personal example from some years ago when I was still in corporate career. What happens is that people reach out to you and they keep offering you the job offers. I was in my last corporate job in London as global HR director in an insurance company and board member for UK business. And I got a call from a lady from Buenos Aires, from Argentina. So picture it, I'm based in London, working in an insurance company, and I got a call from Buenos Aires, Argentina. And she said she got my contact details on LinkedIn, and she found my profile on LinkedIn. She is a headhunter based in Argentina. She's Scottish, but now living in Argentina and working, and she is recruiting for the company based in Russia. For global HR director, they're responsible for 8 countries. She said, would you like to have a conversation about the offer that we have? I said, yes, why not? I'm excited to hear about it. And then we had a little chat, and she said, by the way, before we progress, I need to check your Russian language, as it's essential to speak in Russian if you would move to Russia. And she said, are you okay with that? I said, yeah, fine. I know the language. So she handed over the phone to her colleague who was sitting next to her, who was Russian, based in Buenos Aires, recruiting for Moscow. So with this example, I wanted to share with you that when you build your brand and you apply strategic tactics on LinkedIn and on other social media, and you keep networking, then opportunities are coming to you. You don't even need to apply. Of course, if you want, you can, but if you are strategic, then you attract the right job opportunities coming to you. And people know what you're great at. People know what you love doing and how do you add value. And then your desired employers, they are running after you and they are begging you, come and work for me. This is the beauty of personal brand development. And that's why, as I've done it myself and I experienced how great it is, I love sharing that with other professionals, as you can succeed in that too. When you are clear on what are your talents, what's your passion, what are you great at, how do you add value, and who is your ideal employer, ideal hiring manager, ideal culture that you want to be part of, then applying the right personal branding strategies, you can ensure that these opportunities are coming towards you, that people reach out to you, they send you a message on LinkedIn, they find your email, they find your phone number, and they phone you and say, would you like to come and work with us? So that's the beauty of building personal brand. And you know, when I was once, I got an elevator when I was still working in insurance company, and we had our office on 14th floor. So it takes some time to get up from ground floor to 14th. I meet my colleagues, and usually I say, hi, how are you doing? And you know, on Monday morning, quite a few of my colleagues said, well, you know, I'm tired. I said, what are you tired of? The week is just starting. And they said, well, I'm tired of just thinking about the job that I need to do. So from that, I took that they don't really like the job. They are not really happy. And I thought there is something wrong. They need to change something with their careers. But when you don't build your personal brand in the right way, then you kind of start to feel stuck, that there are no opportunities to change, and it's hard to change, right? With building personal brand, you can do anything. You just think of it and you can get the job offer, whichever country you want to go, whichever company you want to be part of, or company culture, you start attracting these opportunities, and that's the beauty. And I wanted to help people, as it's great to inspire and empower others to succeed too. And now that helps me to move from my corporate career into my own consulting business, where I'm just doing what I love doing. I work with clients I love working, as they are coming to me through LinkedIn, through Facebook, through networking, and through recommendations. Of course, there are some tactics and strategies that you need to apply on LinkedIn, but that's the beauty, that whatever you dream of, you can achieve. It's just a matter of following the tactics. And you mentioned HR professionals. Now I'm launching the course for HR professionals, where I'm teaching exactly that how to have clarity on who you are, how you add value, and who is your customer, who is your target employer, and how to ensure that they come to you through LinkedIn, through networking, and through referrals. It's awesome.
Wow. I'm so happy that I introduced you as the bullet train, because that's exactly what you are. You're like an ocean of information. And that was actually my first question to you. Why are you so passionate about personal brand? Because I know a lot of people who are into talking about personal branding and coaching people about it. And it's really nice to know somebody who knows their content so well and has such an expertise in this. And it's amazing. I have a lot of questions to ask, but I'm going to start off with something very simple. I would like to know, how does a personal brand impact a career development?
Really good question. As we have been told, work hard and you will get noticed and promoted. However, what happens is sometimes you work really hard and nobody notices it. And nobody appreciates it, because maybe you are not doing the right work. Maybe you are not focusing on the right things. Maybe you're not sharing what value you add. So personal brands directly impact career development, and you can build thriving careers, your personal brand development, as through developing your brand and sharing what value you add to others and genuinely caring about other people. So what's really important is that personal branding, it's not about promoting yourself just for sake of promoting. It's not about shouting out loud, look at me, I'm awesome. No, it's about really taking care of thinking through what is the value that I have, who is my target customer or employer or hiring manager, what problem I can help them solve, and what is their aspiration, what exciting life looks for them, why they are recruiting for a particular role, and then how can I fill the gap, how can I help them solve the problem. And then I start to communicate when I'm clear on these steps in personal brand development. Then I start to communicate in a way that people get it. They get that I am the right one for this role, and you build this trust in other people that you are the right one long before a role even has been created. And when that role comes up, people think, I know that person. You need to contact this person because they're fantastic at this job and they will be the best candidate for you. So this is how personal brand impacts career development, that you don't have to kind of try hard. You just need to apply smart tactics and strategies, and always be your personal best. Always think about your career as your business. Even if you are not a business owner or founder, if you are a career professional, think about your career development as business development, and really own it. It's not about you didn't get promoted or you get fired. It's about what did you do about it. Yeah. And if life is ups and downs, and it happens that we get challenged along the way. Sometimes we get promoted, sometimes we get fired. It depends on what's happening in a company. And sometimes, even if you're doing a great job, maybe your role is being closed and you get fired. Yeah. Then always have this mindset that it's not failing, it's learning. You never fail, you always learn. From the challenge situation, what can you learn? And when you have this mindset of learning instead of failing, then you constantly look for opportunities, and you constantly look for how can I do better? What do I need to do differently? And this mindset then comes back to your career development, that if you work on your personal brand, you constantly want to be your personal excellence and add value for others. And that helps, that just makes your career development so smooth and so enjoyable.
Yeah. Thank you so much for answering that question. And I do believe that this was a misconception where people who are business leaders and are consultants by themselves think, people think that these are the only ones who require a personal brand. But I feel everybody, you could be of any position or designation in a company. I think your personal brand is very important. It talks about your image. And for me, it's a very simple definition. A personal brand is basically what people are going to talk about you once you leave the room instead of when you are still there. So thank you so much for emphasizing on that. Now, as I know, I've seen your blogs. I have seen the kind of workshops you've done. There are a few ones that you did, and I picked out questions from there to help the audience so that they can resonate with this. I would like to know, how can we work on our personal brand as one individual? How can, if you could just share a few practical frameworks as to how we can, just take tips and, analyze and put them at use.
Really great question, Renira. As I'm all about practical action taking and implementation, like I shared this morning in the workshop, and I'm also sharing that in the upcoming program for professionals in career development. So I have created, based on my experience and my colleagues and clients' experience, the framework of ultimate personal brand formula. So 7 steps that you need to follow to develop your brand. And the first step or milestone is your brand foundation. So who you are, what is your personality? And that includes angles like, what are your talents? What are your passions? What are your values? What's your wow effect? What is your purpose, mission, and vision? So these 7 things. You have to be crystal clear and answer these questions. What are your talents? What are your values? What are your passions? What's your wow effect? What's your purpose, mission, and vision? And when you have clarity on these answers, when you have answered it for yourself, then you will feel that your confidence is growing, and even your spine becomes, you stretch your spine, and you become a bigger person, a more valuable and important person in your eyes, because you see how you can add value for others. And other people start to notice it too. So that was the first personal brand foundation. Yeah, we clarify who you are and what about you are as professional. Then the second step is who is your customer? So who is your hiring manager, or who is the person that you want to work for, or the company that you want to work for? And here we clarify all about them. What are their pains? What are their frustrations? What are their challenges? What are their aspirations? What they want to solve? And when you are clear who is the company or hiring manager or the team that you want to work for, and how can you, based on who you are, how can you help to solve their problem? As always, think about, that's why I said, take your career development as business development. Think about problems you are solving. As in business, they're solving problems, right? And in career, in our job, we also need to be focusing what problems I can solve for my potential clients or for potential company. As here is the algorithm. The bigger problems you are solving, the bigger is your salary. So if you're solving more important issues, then you are better paid. And then the third step is what's your irresistible offer? How are you solving these problems? So you need to be crystal clear. What is it that you do? What changes are you helping companies to implement? Sometimes when I was human resources director and I was recruiting people and interviewing, asking, what do you do? How you will help us in your new role? They said, I will be this and this, like I will be finance manager, or I will be admin manager or HR manager. So what? So what is it? How are you going to contribute? How are you going to apply your skills, knowledge, and expertise to help me to achieve the goals of the department? So that's really essential, your irresistible offer. How are you positioning what you do, how you do it, and what outcome your hiring manager will, or your business leader will get by you joining the team? And then, of course, comes into play the social media and your social media content plan, and how are you positioning yourself through LinkedIn, through Facebook, through Instagram, wherever your customers or your hiring managers might find you. And interestingly, sometimes people think that LinkedIn is the only platform where you will be checked out. However, remember that when somebody is recruiting, they Google you, they check you out everywhere. So make sure that, of course, LinkedIn is your pitch. LinkedIn profile is not just your CV holder. It's your pitch to your potential hiring manager. So when they land on your profile, read it, they say, yes, that's it, sold, I'm hiring you. And of course, there are additional tactics and strategies on LinkedIn, like growing your network with really valuable connections and decision makers in the companies that you want to apply for or you want to work for. And then sharing your thought leadership, positioning yourself as expert in particular niche. As what you share, people assume that you are passionate about it and you are expert in it. And that's really essential. That's really important. And of course, think about what you post on Facebook to make sure that you come across professional as well. Don't do too much businessy type of things on Facebook, as it's still personal profile and kind of personal connections. But don't do silly things on Facebook, as your potential employers will check you out on Facebook as well. And from my experience, some of my corporate clients, as I do workshops for corporates as well, I do team development and team dynamics workshop and performance management workshops. Some of my corporate clients have come to me through Facebook. They contact me on Facebook, they send a private message, and I'm wondering why this bank representative or consulting Big Four audit company representative, why they write me on Facebook, not on LinkedIn. It's because it's easier for them. So make sure that your social media profiles are aligned and you come across professional but relevant to that social media platform. And then, of course, visibility plan, that you need to make sure that you are visible in the areas where your potential employers or hiring managers are hanging out. Definitely for job seekers, it's LinkedIn and job centers and development centers. So every little interaction that you have with person that you meet in person or online builds your personal brand, and they will either recommend you or they will say, no, this person, no, don't hire them, don't talk to them. It's a waste of time. So this is really important that we remember that every minute, every little interaction when we are talking to people, even how you talk to shop assistant in the shop, how kind you are, or how you talk to when you come for interview, how you talk to the secretary or receptionist. As some companies, they have in recruitment policy a step that they are checking with the office assistant. So how did this candidate talk to you? Were they kind? Were they nice? Or they were rude because you maybe have lower job position than they have? And if they were rude, then that's a no-no, as that means they might not be kind and polite to other colleagues as well. And the last but not least, it's important to think about your, as I mentioned, career as business model. So think about how you want to work. Do you want to have permanent job, or now it's very popular to become freelancers and change the companies, as that's how you can learn quicker and faster, or you want to have a permanent job and you want to have some additional coaching business or training business or some online business. As sometimes we love the job we do, but there is a glass ceiling how much we can earn. And then you want to monetize your skills, knowledge, and expertise online or on side gigs. That's also important that you are clear. How do you want your career to develop? And that's another thing that I'm teaching in this course, how to monetize your skills, knowledge, and expertise. Additionally to your day job or to your kind of fixed job, you can share your knowledge with people who need it.
I am blown.
So that's awesome.
You have so much information in that head of yours. It's like one question and you actually gave us like a whole session. I'm sure somebody would have taken a whole session with this question. Thank you. This was brilliant.
Awesome.
I've actually written all of the points that you said, and these are really great points, some of which even I need to look back at and work on, especially with dimension and irresistible offer. Thank you so much for this. I'm going to quickly ask you, if you had to, just a space value, give some kind of advice to a lot of job seekers, because most of our audience today are people who've either got redundant or are looking out for a job for a while and are finding it difficult, and it's like a struggle. So what kind of advice would you give them to build their personal brand so that they attract their own, dream jobs rather than just getting in any job to, survive?
Yeah, really good question. As when we are in situation when we are made redundant, and for a while we've been looking for a job and it's hard to find, then one of the mistakes that people can make is to accept just any job. From one perspective, you might think, well, I need to pay my bills, I need just a job to start with. However, when you accept any job, that might shape the impact or shape the image of you, what kind of job you're capable of, and what kind of job to offer you next. So that's why it's really important to have clarity of what job you want and aim for it. Aim for the most relevant job you can have. And how to do it. You can see I have been speaking a lot today. Sorry
Yes.
for my voice interruptions. So how to do it? First of all, LinkedIn is a great source. Nowadays, international companies, modern companies, even local companies, they search for candidates on LinkedIn. So of course they go to job centers as well and engage people there. However, through LinkedIn, you can attract opportunities in your country and globally. And you can attract opportunities being based in your country, but work from your home globally. There is one friend of mine who recently not recently, actually at the beginning of the year, he got job offer from, he's based in, where is he based now? I think he's based in Estonia now, in Tallinn. And he got the job offer from US, from Texas. I think it was company based in Texas. And they needed someone who knows Scandinavian market and who can work from their home and deal with customers online, explaining and supporting and networking online. And he's great at it.
So you can actually support. I know you've been doing a lot of sessions today. I think this is your third. You've jumped out of one and got into this. You can definitely sip some water. I'm absolutely fine waiting.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yes, to come back to your question, so LinkedIn is really important source. You need to treat your profile as your pitch. It's not a CV holder. It's your business card. It's your profile needs to present you in a way that, as I mentioned, when somebody lands on it, they say, yes, that's it, that's the person. How you do it, of course, starting from basic things that start with a really professional picture and how you do your job title and how you share your experience, what you have done and how you contributed to previous jobs and the companies. And always think about, it's not a job description, it's sharing the value that you contributed to previous companies. That's really essential difference, that don't list all your tasks and responsibilities, but added value and outcomes. And then on LinkedIn, what's really important, grow your network with decision makers, with people who can hire you. And then network, contribute to them. If they ask a question, answer their question on LinkedIn. If they post a post, comment on their post and add value. And you know what? People are very curious. When somebody likes your post or comments your post, what they do, they check you out. They check your profile. And then you want to make sure your profile is your pitch. So when you are active on LinkedIn, comment, you share, you contribute, and you grow your network with decision makers, and you start posting yourself, your thought leadership, insights, advice based on your experience, then people start to notice it. And another thing, have in your network recruiters and headhunters. So consciously invite to your network recruiters, headhunters, talent managers, people who are connected with job world, offering world, recruiting world. As they will see you, they notice you, and they will know whenever they will have a role coming up, they will know whom to contact. That's you, obviously, right?
Thank you so much for those tips. Those are really, really important pointers, even for people who are already on LinkedIn and are doing these things. And how important it is to actually do have headhunters and recruiters in your list, because as soon as you do an update on your profile, it could be anything with open to network and new opportunities to any kind of progress in your current job. And these are the ones that get notified. So it's absolutely a brilliant point. And I think everybody should take this one, key factor, that do make sure you can log in and add as many job hunters and consultants and recruiters to your profile, because they would be the first ones to notice if you've been made redundant or if you're looking out for a new opportunity. Thank you so much, Inga, for pressing on that point. Now, I know you spoke about social media, and I know that, like you pointed out, a lot of people think it is only LinkedIn that's where you need to be more careful about your profile and your professional resume. But I do know that you can use social media in other aspects as well. Could you give us a few tips as to how to use our social media to build our personal brand?
Yeah. Really good question. As you're spot on right, that sometimes people think that it's just LinkedIn for career search, for building your career. Yes, LinkedIn is the key social media. However, as I mentioned, you need to make sure that your Facebook profile and Facebook feed is also quite professional. On Facebook, you share more about personality and about your hobbies, about your family. And people want to know what you're passionate about, that you're an active person, that you do some sports, that if you have kids, that you take care of family. So people want to know that. And on Instagram as well, it's more kind of for visual services, visual experiences. decide how you want to use each of social media networks, but make sure that you come across in several ones. And one great tip currently is, as we live in this freelancer kind of trend or personal branding trend, great opportunity is start your own blog. Either you can start your own blog on LinkedIn, you don't need to choose any other platform, or build your website, start your blog, and start sharing your thought leadership. Start sharing what you are passionate about, and that will spread the message. The Google will like that you are posting constantly and quite often, and share your life experience. Like if you are attending some conference, take a picture and share the value that you have gained from the conference. Talk about professional areas that you are passionate about, and the really important thing is be consistent. If you are searching for a job, be consistent on LinkedIn, commenting, liking, posting, reaching out. So people say that you are active, and usually people like active people. And what happens on LinkedIn algorithm is, if you are quite active and if you post quite often, you don't have to post every hour, right? At least 2 times a week, that's already enough. If you post quite often and you have big network, when people comment, like, or share your post, then it comes higher in LinkedIn feed. So, you know, on LinkedIn, there are millions of professionals, thousands and millions of professionals who are all the time posting something. So when you post, your post goes very quickly down in the feed. But when people like, comment, or share, and especially when you have big network and you post something interesting, people comment, like, and share, then your post comes again up in the feed and people will notice. And that's your kind of branding strategy, that you are visible constantly in front of someone's eyes. And that is that they will remember you, they will think of you, and they will know if somebody from their network will be asking, hey, by the way, do you know someone who would be suitable for this role? They will say, I know, I saw on LinkedIn, this guy or the girl, they are so active and so passionate about this theme. I'm sure they are great at it. Please do contact them. And this is what happens. People who don't even know you personally, through your LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram communication, they kind of feel that they know you, and they kind of feel the gist of who you are and how you add value. And that's why sometimes it happens, they recommend you even not knowing you personally. Sometimes I got client referrals. The potential client comes to me and they say, I want your services. I said, what exactly do you want? I don't know, but I know that I need you. I know that you can help me either through LinkedIn coaching or personal brand development or career development, as my friend recommended you to me. And then we have a conversation, tell me more what you need. As they didn't know me before, but they say, friend told me and I want to work only with you. I don't want any other mentor or coach. I want to work with you. As one of the things that I help people with is how to develop your career or business through LinkedIn. I have even a program for that, that people learn these LinkedIn strategies, and they learn step by step what they need to do on LinkedIn. And then in 3 months or less, they get a new job offer.
Wow. I am all thrilled, because you're answering each and every question that I have with so much more information that I already think that, you know, I was at least a little aware of. So thank you so much, Inga. And I was actually going to ask you next, you know, how do I maximize the power of LinkedIn to attract, exciting job opportunities? And I think you have blended that answer in this one already. So I won't take that question again. But I do have one last question before I get into asking the audience for the questions they have. Could you tell me what kind of support you could offer to our audience today to help them build their personal brand, coming directly from you?
Really good question. And, you know, this is the impact of personal brand. I thought as we really connected well on LinkedIn, Renira, and I really enjoyed our communication. And I thought, I need to offer something valuable to your audience, to people who connect to this session. And then I thought, yes, I can offer them actually free personal branding strategy. So if you are feeling that personal brand is something that you struggle with, and you are not attracting the right job opportunities, or you are not attracting the right promotions, or somehow you're not being heard or seen, or you're missing something, I'm happy to, I cannot take on everyone who will come, but I'm happy to take on 15, 20 people to have these half-an-hour conversations.
Oh my God.
I'm so passionate about helping people to build a personal brand and have thriving careers. So if you could share my Calendly link with strategy calls, then I'm happy to have half-an-hour call with whoever needs it, who feels that this is only for those who really practically needs it, who feel that, yes, I would benefit. It's not to have a little chat, but let's take action. Yes. Let's look at your challenge. Let's walk it step by step through and see how you can best solve it.
Wow.
And I love doing this. So this is my offer to your audience.
Wow, thank you so much, Inga. I can't believe you're actually going to take like 15 to 20 people with a half-an-hour strategy call. Is like a lot of dedication to what you do, and this is really selfless. Thank you so much for. I wasn't expecting this. I thought you'll have some kind of tips to give, because I know how good you are with this, and I wanted to ask you something about your book, but this is much better than what I had in mind. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm really happy to contribute, as again, this is evidence of your personal brand's impact, Renira, as I see how great you are in doing what you're doing. I see the value that you are adding for people, and that makes me willing to contribute as well, and that makes me willing to add value. So here you go, straight evidence of impact of personal brand.
Wow. Thank you. That means a lot to me. What I will do is, to make it easier for you, I will take all the people who are interested. If you can get in touch with Santosh and give your names to Santosh, we'll actually have the first 15 people who register, because I do not want to trouble Inga, because it's going to be too much. So whoever is genuinely looking out for a change and guidance in personal branding, please give your names to Santosh D'Souza, and we will get back in touch with you, and we'll get you connected with Inga. Probably we can organize like another private Zoom just for all of you people, so you can have all of your details. Santosh says, I shall switch off my mobile. Sorry, Santosh, but you'll have to bear with me on this one. And do drop in your email address as well, so we can get in touch with you if in case in the chat we lose out on your questions. Now, I'm actually done with all of my questions, and I'm so grateful that I had all these questions, because you were so brilliant and on point with everything that I had to ask you. And I'm sure I didn't just have one takeaway, I had so much. So with the audience, I'm sure they have like gone ahead and taken a lot from today's session. And I'm very, very, I'm actually very overwhelmed and happy that I'm hosting you today, because I'm surprised that you don't really need the slides. That exactly shows how passionate you are about personal branding, and how in-depth knowledge you have about your content. And it's amazing. I would love to know more from somebody who is such has so much love for their craft. So thank you so much. I also want, before I get into the audience question and answers, I want to thank the people of YouTube and Facebook for joining in again. And I do appreciate that you're here, and I hope you guys take away as much as we have.